You're listening to Drawing Success, Art, Education, and Entrepreneurship with Bette Fetter, founder and CEO of Young Rembrandts. In each episode, Bette explores the inspiring stories of franchise owners who've built successful businesses while making a difference through art education. And now, here's your host, Bette Fetter.
Good morning, and for our Young Rembrandts podcast today, I would like you to meet one of our franchisees, Cristina Hartley. And Cristina, you are from Pennsylvania, Chester County.
Yes. So even though it has the name Chester County, the territory actually covers parts of Delaware County, Montgomery County, in addition to the entire Chester County.
And how long have you been doing Young Rembrandts?
5 years.
It's been a very busy 5 years, hasn't it? Tell me, what did you do? You know, I love in this podcast to let people get a sense of who Young Rembrandt franchisees were before they came to Young Rembrandts and why they chose Young Rembrandts. So tell us, what were you doing before Young Rembrandts?
So before Young Rembrandts, I tried teaching in a public school for a year, decided it wasn't for me. Then I went into doing translating and interpreting, and I did that for close to 12 years, and just had my own business. I love being my own boss and just contracting with various entities. Mm-hmm. Then I decided I wanted to stay home and be the main person in charge of our 2 children and just raise the kids and focus on those formative years. And then once my youngest went to school full-time in first grade, I decided it was time to look for an opportunity where I could still be my boss, still be mom, but do fun things and make some money.
Okay, and then how did you find Young Rembrandts?
As a customer. My now college freshman started Young Rembrandts when she was in kindergarten, so I was already, I already knew the program, knew the concept. I volunteered in the classroom, so I knew what it was all about. And when I was looking to invest in an opportunity, it just happened that the prior owners were ready to move on. Found about it. So here I am.
So in franchise terms, we call, you bought an existing territory, a territory that had been established. You've grown it enormously in the last 5 years, but so you had some, did you have some existing, so you had some existing staff when you took over?
No, nothing transferred over. Okay. It was an existing territory, but I started it from scratch, all new staff, new accounts, new everything.
So when, and how did you found us as a parent, mm-hmm. And how excited was your daughter that now you were Young Rembrandts?
Well, she was very excited that, I was doing Young Rembrandts, and so was my son. By that time, he had already done Young Rembrandts a little bit, so both my kids were used to it, and it was very neat for them to say, "Oh, my mom is the boss now."
Now, you, a Young Rembrandt franchise, hires part-time teaching staff. And we contract with schools or daycare centers to be able to teach classes at their locations. And so how many classes on an average do you run during a year? And how many students?
So I'm just going to use last school year as an example, mm-hmm. because this school year hasn't started yet. Last school year, I ran between 50 to 72 weekly classes.
It's a lot of classes.
Yeah, and these were a few before school clubs, in school classes, after school clubs were the majority, and then we had some late evening and some weekend classes. And we had anywhere between 550 to 1,000 students a week.
Very busy. Good for you. And with Young Rembrandts, we are all very mission-based. And what about this mission or getting arts to the kids? How did that resonate with you?
It's the perfect fit for me because I love art. I love working with children. I think more art is better, and we never have enough art education in our schools. So anything that can complement and add onto what is in the schools, and some schools don't even have an art teacher. So I feel like there is a need. The need will never go away, and I love what I'm doing.
And so in the day-to-day task, there's a lot of, some franchisees kind of divide things because somebody might like the organization and the administration and using all our technology tools, whereas someone else favors the teaching, training teachers, hiring teachers. I think you have a pretty good balance of both, don't you? Which is your favorite?
My favorite is definitely being in the classroom with the kids and seeing them grow their skills and just improve their confidence in their skills. But I also love the admin part of the job where I go out and I meet with decision makers and get to know the staff that I'm working with in bringing these programs and scheduling and interviewing people. And so I like both aspects, but just like you said, some other franchisees do one or the other. They either don't like being in a classroom, and that's fine, or they don't like micromanaging the admin part of the of this business.
Well, you have a nice balance. You've got your left and your right brain going there.
Yeah, and see, because I used to own, my own business before, I was used to the process. It didn't scare me. And again, I love doing this. So thank you for having it for us.
Thank you for bringing it to Pennsylvania. So when you are in the classroom, what have you seen in terms of how it affects kids? Like what keeps us going on this after all these years?
I think I know that in my area, under one ownership or the other, the franchise has existed for about 20 years. And overall, it's been 35 years, right? Since you started this in your kitchen.
I started it in 1988.
So, yeah, 36. So we have, a method that works. We teach the kids step by step. We tell them that we are there to empower them to draw the simple lines and create the shapes. And I love going into a classroom and the kids seeing the lesson and saying, "Oh, I don't think I can draw that." And then we are proving them they can do it. And seeing how proud they are at the end of the classroom and running to their parents to see, "Look what I made today." And and also watching their progress from like the first class of the session to the last class of the session. It's just amazing.
For the same for me, I still get choked up in a classroom full, especially of new students, when they look at it and say, "Oh, like too much," and then all of a sudden they just did it. And tell me, so for Young Rembrandts, when we as a franchisor, it is our responsibility to provide franchisees with the tools that you need to run your business. And for anybody looking for a franchise, you have to be really thoughtful about that and really shopping. So here's your chance to give us a grade on how did we do in terms of training, technology, the curriculum. You have the tools like marketing. What do you think about Young Rembrandts as a franchisor?
Yeah, it's A+. I've looked into other franchises franchise opportunities, but Young Rembrandts was for me. You have all the tools, like you said, but as a business owner on my end, I have to put in the work, because you're just giving me all these amazing tools will not bring me business if I don't put some effort right into building my programs. It's a fun job. There is no mess. The schools love us for this reason.
Well, good. And, we do really have a commitment to that integrity in our curriculum and what we give you in terms of curriculum and the teacher training process, all that. But we so appreciate that our franchisees really honor that and really take that philosophy into the classrooms. And we're very consistently do see such great benefits in the kids. So where do you host the classes in your area? And, who are the decision makers you meet with and talk to?
So in my particular area, I have to meet with every school principal or Parks and Recs representative, every school or library or other community organization is different. I host my classes mainly in schools, whether public or private schools. We do before, after school clubs. Then we host classes in partnership with other entities like Parks and Recs or libraries or community nonprofits. And those classes typically happen later afternoon or weekends. And then sometimes we do events for homeschool associations, and those are typically midday during the week. And we also have some preschool programs where we are the art that visits the preschool and teaches kids how to draw twice a month. And we have some in-school art programs where we are the art program and we just adapt their needs as well.
You are covering a very broad spectrum, which, our curriculum works for those early learners at 4 to 6, and then the 6 to 12-year-olds in all those great locations. So I know that you are really enjoy and have become a big presence in your community and in the education community. Are there any other organizations that you work with?
I work with another nonprofit. We utilize their space when we don't have other spaces. I work with local high schools. I typically go once or twice a year to speak on their career days and just tell students what it means to be a small business owner, a female business owner, and about all the aspects. I go to colleges if they have resume review day where I help students who may be applying for a job for the first time kind of look at their resumes and giving input and telling them what I would be looking for, what questions I would be asking as an employer.
That is wonderful. You really give so much, and especially then as a woman business owner, always very impactful to encourage more of our young women to come into business too. So thank you. Tell me about Brilliant Arts.
Yes, so I utilize the Brilliant Arts part of Young Rembrandts, which is the nonprofit part, and it helps me secure some spaces at a reduced price. And I also give out as many scholarships as I'm asked to. If a family cannot afford our programs, all they have to do is have the school counselor or their teacher just vouch for them, and then I just give them a scholarship.
I've seen your amounts, and you're very generous with your scholarships, and I know you really have a heart for those kids who want it and they, their family can't do it. So thank you.
Thank you for providing this opportunity.
Well, Cristina, in general, anything you'd want to say to someone considering becoming a Young Rembrandt franchisee?
It's the best opportunity there is.
Sweet.
You get everything handed out to you. You just need to take it, train, follow the rules, and then put a little effort into it, because business and classes and money won't come to you if you just sit around and wait.
Thank you very much. I think we both probably better get busy today, huh?
Always.
Always. Well, thank you so much, Cristina. I know you're busy getting that school year off to a big start, and thank you for your time today. Thank you for everything you're doing in the name of Young Rembrandts.
Thank you for the opportunity, Bette.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Drawing Success. If you're inspired by today's episode and want to learn more about owning your own Young Rembrandts franchise, visit us at www.yrfranchise.com. And until next time, keep drawing success.